Growing up, we grow up, a lot of us grow up, and we get punished for just simply being ourselves and not conforming to the social norm, not conforming to the culture, not conforming to the religion. And you know what, man? A lot of us get God attributes and characteristics beaten out of us. A lot of us get our curiosity beaten out of us because we're children. We want to learn about this world. We want to touch things. We want to feel things. Now, I understand when we touch the fire, our parents probably step in and be like, hey, bro, don't touch the fire. Or you could learn the hard way because, pain is just a brain signal to teach you not to engage in certain things. It tells you, hey, something is wrong. Something is damaging my body. So you should probably get away with it. But, if you grew up anything like me, you acted outside of cultural norms and you got punished for acting outside of those social norms. So now you are afraid, maybe like me, maybe you're not afraid, but I know growing up, and I know now still, I'm afraid of truly being myself, truly behaving just as me, and not really giving a fuck about people's reactions to my actions. Now, this was a big obstacle for me to get over because literally the fear of being looked at and seen as strange, being seen as like somebody who's not part of society, was powerful enough to grip over my mind. And it's not so much that I didn't want to be myself. It's not so much that I didn't want to get outside of the cultural norm. It's that it's been programmed in me so deeply to behave in a way that is defensive, in a way that is, reactive, in a way that is receptive to the world rather than being receptive to Source, God, and, the things that God and Source wanted to teach me and show me about the world through my own attributes and characteristics and through me just being myself. But I stopped being myself because I was afraid of the punishment that can come from someone else. So I carried this belief with me everywhere I went. When I go to, let's say, work, I would not do certain things. I would not say certain things, even though I know some certain things were done wrong that are not justifiable, and I should be accountable to bring it up. Be like, hey, look, I don't want these extra hours because I got X and Y, Z to do. I wouldn't do that just because I felt like I carried this feeling, this belief inside of me that said, if you stand up right now, if you say something about this authority figure that's in the form of a company, in the form of your parents, in the form of your teacher at school, then you will get punished. Because my brain had evidence in the past that whenever I got out of line from where this parameter we're in, this societal norm, this cultural norm, this religious norm, whatever it may be for you, that I would get punished if I step out of line. So I created this imaginary line for myself that I took with me everywhere I went. And even in situations that didn't, even just regular situations that didn't even need me to act that way, that if I just have acted out of that belief, in spite of that belief, I would have gotten the thing that I wanted. But because, again, we have beliefs that have deeply penetrated our sense of being. So now, fear and worry and doubt is a part of our sense of being. So now, I had to figure out, how am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna stop doing this to myself? So I had to change how I felt, not only about myself, but about the world around me. Because, like my boy, Master 33, aka Will Rogers, like to say, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. Meaning the world, man, listen, they might be an elevator. They might have just inspected it by the most world-renowned elevator mechanic or whatever, and they're telling you, I've inspected this thing over 50 times and this thing is safe. I guarantee it. In fact, I got $100,000 that if you go in this elevator, you are gonna get safely to the first floor, second floor, or whatever the fuck you're trying to go. But because this person has a fear of crashing, it may have happened to them when they was a kid, but they survived it. But that experience was so emotional, was so traumatic, that it just penetrated their sense of being, and now they don't want to take no fucking elevators ever because they're not risking it. They thought it was safe. They might have walked in there like, yeah, this is safe. Oh yeah. But when that event happened to them, especially when you was a child and when you're an adult, you'll be able to get over it a lot. But when you're a child and you're growing up, and something happens to you, yeah, it's going to be really difficult for you to get out of that belief, because now that belief has become a part of your life. We've been doing these beliefs every day automatically, like it's a part of ourselves, but really deep inside, certain things that we know we don't want to do, certain feelings we know we don't want to feel anymore, certain thoughts we know we don't want to bring up anymore. But how come these things stay repeated on a cycle? It's like we're stuck in our Ouroboros, we're stuck in our snake biting its tail, and we're like a dog running around chasing its own tail. We don't know how the fuck to get out of it, what the fuck to do about it. So we need to get out of this feeling where we feel like someone is about to come and punish us, someone is about to come hurt us for us just being ourselves. Because now we're grown-ass adults. I'm assuming everybody watching this video is at least above 16, above 17, 18. If you're like 17, 16, this video might not apply to you just yet, but it's good to become aware of, the things that are stopping you from truly being you. Because, these feelings, man, we really got to learn to let go of these feelings, because you have a chemical that is, this chemistry is organizing itself in your body to bring up that same event that's happened. That meaning basically the same rush of chemicals that you are experiencing right now are putting you in that same event that you was in 5-10 years ago, that is causing you to live in the present moment like you do right now. So it's really, really important for us to start to examine and look at these things like, okay, I don't want to believe in this thing anymore, so let me stop feeling this way. And it sounds really difficult, and you gotta kind of do it at stages, because it's not just a magic trick where you take this on, you put this on, and you put this off. Now, because I said, someone can bring you logical evidence that your belief is not actually valid, but you're going to continue to play out that belief because you genuinely believe in that. If you believe in something, if you believe in that orb that you created when you was a child, and you don't know how to get out of it and look at it from an outside observer, outside looking in point of view, then you're not going to be able to justify getting out of it, because to you, that's the world. That's the only thing you've known, down to even like let's say if you're a woman in Islam and you don't know how to be just a sexy, feminine, you might be beautiful and be feminine, but you don't know how to get outside of that. Yeah, it's, showing my, I'm saying wearing a bikini is not good. Whatever your belief is, a lot people got a lot of different beliefs. But now you in the West, and now you see no one is gonna come punish you, and nobody gonna come hurt you for showing off your feminine body and things of that nature. So we really have to start to look at these feelings that are stuck inside of our right brain chakras, and really use our left brain chakras and analyze, and honestly analyze, and go through new experiences, new situations, to prove that our old belief system is just a facade and ain't even real. Because your feelings, they're really not real. We really just made these things up to experience this reality. Now, it may be, feelings change. Like, you ever see a girl in her period, her feelings go up and down? So feelings change. Feelings go up and down, left and right. So just like that, we have enough evidence to prove to ourselves that, hey, my feelings are just made up in my own head, because we just see the world from our own head. Two people might look at a fire, one person might run away, the other person might be like, yo, let me warm up some chicken tonight. So it's not about what's in front of us, it's about how we look at what's in front of us. It's not about how we feel, it's about how we deal with what we feel. So it's about the how, it's not about the what. We can both, a what can both happen to us. Like, you know what I'm saying? What can happen to everybody, but it's how we approach it. It's our methodology. It's our system behind dealing with problems when they arise. So we should all have a system in place right now for when a problem arises, we know how to deal with that problem in such a manner where it not only diffuses and nullifies the chemical, biological, emotional effect of that problem, but it also inspires other people around us to seek new solutions based on how we dealt with that problem in our own life. Because we should be moving from a problem-oriented solution. Because if you're just like me, what I think all the time about the problem. Oh man, this is happening. But how come my attention is never ever fixated on the solution? How come I'm not looking at how come I'm not trying to find the solution and looking at it like, yo, let me focus on the solution and let me pay attention to that wave and let me collapse into a particle, into my reality, so I can actually experience what's it like to be a problem solver and be a solution-oriented person rather than a person who focuses on problems. If all you focus on is problems, all you're going to get in life is problems. If you're afraid of being punished for getting outside of line, all you're going to get ready is to manifest a bunch of experience of being afraid to get out of line because you're afraid of being punished. And only you're observing that experience in your mind. No one else around you is observing that or knows that until people catch on to your beliefs that you're playing out. Because everybody got a repeated habit pattern, and once you play that enough out, people will be able to figure out, hey, this is the type of person that doesn't want to cross some type of line, so let me cross the line and let me get outside the line in front of them, and I know they're not going to be able to do anything because they're afraid of getting out of line. So you shouldn't be afraid of being bad. Oh, you should be very bad. You should be a very bad girl, and you should be a very bad man, because that's not actually a bad thing. That's just a new spectrum of experience that you really should include in your life, because the government is some very bad motherfuckers. Like, they are some very sick people. These Jews running the world, they're some very bad motherfuckers. But there is a fine line between being bad, harming and defrauding others, and, actually being bad for the sake of helping others. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you're setting new examples. Like, you shouldn't be afraid of standing up to your manager because you think that's bad. No, that's good, but it's going to appear as bad to them because now you're taking away their power from them. So it's bad to them, but it's good for you. But it's good for you, but it's bad for them type of shit. So always use your mind to pay attention to the solution. And if it requires you to get a little bit out of your line, your comfort zone, you should. Now, your nervous system is not gonna let you. It's gonna be like, bro, fuck no, we're not doing that shit, dog. It's gonna be. You're gonna get jittery. You're gonna get nervous. And you start getting sweaty. Your nervous system is like, fuck no, bro, we're not doing that. Hell no. So you gotta walk your organs through that experience so they can be like, holy shit, man, that experience was crazy, but we found something new in that line of experience. Okay, so it's not as bad. Okay, let me breathe. and then woosah it out, and then keep building that out. Keep experiencing that newness, and don't be afraid, because you're gonna find a whole new world of all new possibilities that you didn't think ever existed. Real fucking shit.